Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian, that's Corey, and we are Super Comic Guru 9000, and this is our review of Naruto Manga Chapter 676. So, Madara is back, and he brought Obito with him, and I thought that was strange because you figured he'd just leave Obito back in the other dimension and he'd just leave him behind. But he does have Zetsu taken over him, and immediately, maybe because I'm such a big Game of Thrones fan, it reminded me of like Theon Greyjoy. I was like, Madara's like bringing around this like poor abused person with him now everywhere he goes as like a trophy. It's kind of fucked up. And again, I just don't understand why he brought him back. If anything, it's like an opportunity for the good guys to help bring him back again and then have him turn on Madara one more time. But that doesn't really matter because Madara is just the boss this chapter, right, Corey? Like,
I mean, he's just, now that he's got both Rinnegan Eye, he now has all of the powers of the Sage of the Six Paths, and even to a more powerful degree. He uses Chewbacca Tensei, which is just absolutely crazy because we saw Pain using it before where he created that one big rock. Madara's making multiple ones, and they're just rising up into the air, and I really love how he did it. Because, before when Pain was using it, he just summoned that weird little black ball of chakra, which just rose into the sky. And I guess it was like that because he was trying to be all stealthy because he didn't want to be caught by Naruto. But I love how Madara just jumps up into the air and creates all of these massive chakra balls which come together. And it's incredibly devastating. And there's a lot of detail in that scene when you see all of the chunks of earth just exploding out of the ground and coming together. And it's very devastating. One thing, though, that really caught me by surprise was at the beginning of the chapter was Sakura acting like a boss.
she actually grew some balls, and maybe she heard us making fun of her last week.
I think she's heard everyone on the internet making fun of her. We said it before, we'll say it again. It's easy to make fun of Sakura, but I think she really showed her stuff this week. She definitely showed that she's the next Tsunade when she ran up to Madara and got stabbed through, and still continued to punch through all of his attacks. But to no avail because Madara now has 4 clones.
4 clones. So, again, another thing, Madara can do like 10 Chewbacca Tenseis. But he also has 4 clones now instead of just 1. And we also got to see Sasuke's new Susanoo.
Which looks awesome and demonic and metal as hell.
And can fly, which is, I think the natural progression. He just skipped making it walk, and he just like, fuck it, we're just going to make it fly. And Naruto can use clones. That's not really a big surprise, but it kind of is a big, it's very useful because it's going to fight all Madara's invisible clones, which is kind of a cool but maybe boring battle to watch. You just see Naruto fighting in the air.
It's just, but it serves a purpose because both his clones and, Sasuke's Rinnegan Eye are able to at least sense and see the clones.
Yes.
But that scene is really great when they're teaming up against the Chibaku Tensei and they're actually throwing their attacks at it. You can see Naruto's is causing some of them to explode with his giant Rasen Shuriken.
It's
and even Sasuke's
ball Rasen Shuriken.
It is, yes. It's on an entirely new level.
Yeah.
And then there's Sasuke with his brand new Susanoo, which just, it looks so cool. I love the look of the wings because they have that, that bat-looking wing look to them.
Yes.
And he's using its sword to cut through them, so it's a really exciting scene. But at the end of the day, this entire attack by Madara is actually all a distraction for him to finally activate the infinite Tsukuyomi. And I love how it's done because, as he was transforming into the Jinchuriki, the Ten Tails, how he had the weird little, crest thing on his head that was growing over his forehead.
Kind of like his headband.
Basically. Maybe that was like a cocoon of some sort creating that weird, freaky eyeball on his forehead, which finally started to open up just like Lady Kaguya. And even in the final panel, you get to see he's standing before the moon, which is transforming into the giant Rinnegan Eye. And it looks pretty slick.
And that's where the chapter comes to a close. I think we're really starting to see that Lady Kaguya probably was in that tree. I think a lot of people predicted that. And maybe when Madara absorbed the tree, that's when that eye started to grow. That's really a theory, but it's obvious that he is looking more and more like her, also in his art style as well. So this was a really good chapter. In some ways, it's a huge progression. I almost was going to say it's not much of a progression, but we're actually going to see the infinite Tsukuyomi plan be pulled off.
I knew that was going to happen. My biggest fear still resides with the infinite Tsukuyomi plan is how far they're going to go with it. Because we've seen this type of concept in series before where villains or there's some sort of crazy event where everything starts to get redone and we go into this weird pseudo world where everybody's happy but they're not really. And I don't want it to go. Yeah, exactly. Evangelion, and I don't want to see it go into that route too much. I'm really interested to see how next week is going to open up. If it's going to be the beginning of the Infinite Tsukuyomi plan, if it's just going to instantly kick in and everybody's going to be caught into the Genjutsu, or if Naruto and Sasuke are going to find some way to negate that ability. it's one of the few times I cannot guess what's going to happen.
Maybe they're like the only two that don't get caught up in it.
That's what I was thinking too, like, you know, since they're the main characters, they'll have some sort of like Deus Ex Machina to keep them from getting caught up in the infinite Tsukuyomi, thus giving them a chance to fight against Madara. But I still know we're gonna see, you know, Madara's version of Happy Konoha, where everybody's, you know, blissfully unaware that they're caught in this Genjutsu. I know it's going to happen. It has to.
Well, it's almost like that has to happen to, I think, maybe to have Madara proved wrong that it's the right thing to do.
It's going to be just like, you know, I know we brought up Evangelion before, but let's bring up another classic mecha show, Gurren Lagann. If you remember at the very end of the show when the anti-spiral was, you know, influencing everybody and tricking them into going into their own little, like, dream world.
Yes.
And then Simone had to come in and pull all of them out.
Like Infinite Paradox Matrix or something?
Yeah, like, that could happen here. I really don't want it to, because I want this to be completely unique to itself. But let's get relevant here. Let's just talk about the chapter. I think it looked good throughout. All the action this week, I think, was really good. The artwork was very solid.
Yes.
Sakura was awesome, even though, you know, she didn't really get to hurt Madara too much. The fact that she was just on top of the dude while she had the sword going out through her back and just continuously punching, I thought was really, really awesome and says a lot for her character. And it's just great, again, to see all three of those guys working together. I'd still like to see what's going on at some of the other parts of the battlefield with the Swirly Zetsu, and I wonder what Killer Bee is doing in a ditch somewhere, and, you know, there's so many other things they haven't even gotten back to. Obviously, this is the most important stuff, though. But I liked this week's chapter. It wasn't perfect. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for me.
I actually think it's a 9 out of 10. I think it was better than I expected, and the Infinite Tsukuyomi plan actually getting, you know, progressing is something that's a huge pillar. I mean, we already got introduced to Madara and all these other characters, so now that, like, the big plans are actually getting executed, it's got me really excited about the manga. So, awesome. 9 out of 10 for me. So anyway, guys, if you like these videos, please make sure and give us a thumbs up, the best way to support the channel. And if you could, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we're on Facebook and Twitter, and you can follow us there. And if you want to, you can also donate to the channel. We have a PayPal link down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Anything you want to shout out before we go, Corey?
If you guys want to check out some of the other anime reviews we've been working on, a new series that just started was Soul Eater Not. It is a prequel series to Soul Eater. I thought it was going to be completely awful. It's actually turning out to be pretty good. If you're into that series, check it out. Hunter x Hunter is at the height of the Chimera Ant arc right now. Things are really about to pop off on that series. Check that one out too. And also, please tell us what you guys thought about this week's chapter of Naruto. If you loved it, if you hated it, what do you think is going to happen with the Infinite Tsukuyomi plan? Do you think Naruto and Sasuke will be able to stop Madara?
Awesome. So until next time, you guys, Super Kami Guru 9000 out.